Hey, everybody, and happy Wednesday, happy hump day. My name is David Blackman, the Digital Buddha, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey, Sammy and Kim and Dana. Man, I'm so glad y'all dropped by to see me live, if nothing else, to just say hi. I got some topics that I'm going to cover today on the live stream, and I'm getting better at this YouTube thing, I think. Eventually, I'm going to, not be doing everything last minute, and I'm going to be just that much more prepared. So when I go live, I don't have to kind of do everything. So I want to address the comments and say, welcome, Sammy Cool. Oh, let's do this. I'm glad I'm addressing them now because now I can get them set properly. And there we go. Sammy says the party is happening, and I couldn't agree more, Sammy. The party is happening, my friend. Dana is in the house, Dana Lattery, and you know what? It's good to see you, my brother. I do see you. I see you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I see all of you. And my good friend not too far at the northern end of my state, Oregon, is Kombucha. Thanks for dropping in, Kim, and saying hey. We got some good topics that we're going to cover. My friend Michelle Lawrence is in the house, and well, I don't know if I'm the master of WordPress. Maybe I am the master of WordPress, Sammy. Thank you very much. And Michelle says, "Hey, Dana." Okay, let's dive into it. I'll be back to the comments in a minute. So today, I want to kind of share with you what's going to be happening on the Digital Buddha's YouTube channel. I've kind of solidified it. I've got it. Everything's ready to go. I'm really, really pumped up. So I've decided that I'm going to be putting out content a minimum 2 days a week, Wednesday mornings and Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. And starting tomorrow, we're going to do I think it's an 8 to 10 part series on how to build an e-commerce website with Divi and WordPress. So I'm actually going to walk you through everything you need to know step by step, from figuring out how to pick the best domain name to hosting to actually building an entire e-commerce website at the end of this 10-week period. And so if you want to follow along on that journey and you're in that mode and you need to know how to, kind of the best way to use WordPress and Divi specifically, come follow it, and I'll walk you through that. If you're watching this after the thing, put hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from and if you find the content valuable and stuff. Today, what I'm going to cover is I'm going to talk about, my journey, with what I've learned so far about starting a YouTube channel. So I've asked my Chief Marketing Officer, Josh Daly, to join me on today's live stream and to go over, ask me some questions and kind of talk about what this process is, because I learned some things. One of the things that I learned, the biggest things, is everybody wants you to, hey, hit that subscribe. And you know what? Subscribers are very important, but it's not the most important thing. So we're going to talk about what the most important things are and stuff. So Sammy says that everyone has been loving the interview. He says that because Sammy had me as a guest on his show on Sunday night. Sammy Superstar, check his channel out. He's freaking awesome, and he's gonna be a famous YouTuber one day, I'm sure. Sammy, just don't forget us little people. But he interviewed me about Divi and WordPress, and it was really great. It was about an hour interview, and it was really, really good. He asked some very specific general questions that could help new people with WordPress and stuff. So go check it out. Sammy, I'm going to open up my YouTube real quick, and I'm going to make a couple of people moderators on my channel. And Josh, I know you're in the green room, brother. I'm coming to you. I promise I'm coming to you. So I'm on my channel now. Let me see the chat. I am going to make Mr. Sammy Superstar a moderator. Sammy, you're now a moderator. Post your link in there to your channel and to our interview if you want. I'm going to make Michelle a moderator. And Dana, if you come over to YouTube, I would love to make you a moderator too. So, yeah, just saying. Hey, Tim, what's happening? Got Facebook coming in here and everybody. Alberto, you are very welcome, my friend. And hey, look, it's my real brother from my mother, not another brother from another mother. This is my real brother. Hey, Brian, love you. Thank you for stopping in. Mary says, let's do this. We're going to do this. And my partner, Tim Streifler, is in the house. He's over on Facebook, too. So streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Divi Space, Aspen Grove Studios, my personal Facebook page. So if you're watching it on my personal Facebook page, hey, I'm going to bring you into the back end of my business life, and I've never done it before in all the years I've been on Facebook. It's just not something I've done, but you know what? What I do may help some of the people who are friends of mine. And hey, Facebook only shows like 5% of my friends list what's going on in my life anyway. So if you're one of the lucky ones, come join me on this journey and stuff. Oh, yes. LBC Branding says she is, listening quietly from work. Don't get me trouble, Michelle. Don't get in trouble. All right, it's time to bring in my special guest, Mr. Josh Hall. Not Josh Hall, Josh Daly. Sorry, Josh.
I wish I was Josh Hall. He's a fantastic fella, so he's doing some good stuff too.
Yeah, no. I'm glad you're Josh Daly. Josh Hall is doing some great stuff too. So got my Joshes mixed up there for a minute. So, hey, glad to have you on, my brother.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm glad to be on with you today, David. And I'm going to tell you right now, this stuff's getting me excited because I feel like there's this layer of, at all the conferences, at all the events we've attended over the years, there's this repeat of things that are important, but nobody ever gets to see how it actually plays out over time. And by having this on Digital Buddha, we're going to be able to expose some of the back end things that we've sorted through, walked through, that took you really in Divi Space, Aspen Grove, Corey, yourself to the next level on Google, and then being able to now apply some of that stuff over to the YouTube stuff that we've been working on. That's really exciting, but it's also a learning curve for us. And so we're seeing things there's things that translate perfectly over, work well. They're the exact thing that we need. But then we're also seeing things, and you're learning a ton of stuff about nuances that are not the same as they used to be, or just don't apply to YouTube the same way that they do to Google.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited to talk about and kind of show some of that stuff off.
Yeah, and I think some of the things there are misconceptions, at least that I had. I've been kind of educated by some, I've been fortunate to have some, in the last couple of months, some just amazing mentors when it comes to YouTube. And when I say amazing mentors, I mean the entire Let's Get Live, Ecamm Live community. Y'all have all taught me something very valuable. And, but I specifically want to shout out a couple of them. Doc Rock, Diana Gladney, Lemuel, YouTube, India Delgado, Kombucha, Dana Lattery. You guys have taught me and helped me so much in kind of understanding this journey, picking it apart. I'm a very inquisitive person. I ask a lot of questions, and I know that can be a pain in the neck sometimes when you got somebody who's, trying to just soak up as much as they can. And, that's what I've been doing. And hopefully I haven't been too annoying because, look, I'm going to document and share every single thing that I learn right here on the Digital Buddha's YouTube channel. And I may be preaching to the choir if Diana and Doc or anybody watches it because they already know this stuff. But me as a brand new YouTuber, it's, it was kind of eye opening and stuff. And I'm super pumped, super excited because I feel like I know now exactly what I need to do to be really successful and blow this puppy up out of the water on YouTube. I'm excited to try some of these things. So, without further ado, go, Josh, say something.
Yeah, you're a serial entrepreneur, man, and you've had some real successes over time. But one of the things that has attracted me to Divi Space and the company, and to be honest, the eCam community at large, as I'm a little bit more watching from afar, and I jump in every once in a while and have some chats. But the things that have stood out to me is your ability to be an ongoing learner. That's a trait that I think sometimes we get so far ahead of ourselves, and you always present it like I'm not necessarily don't know what I'm doing, or in a humble way, but you are very you've hit it out of the park a few times, not just once or twice. I mean, you've done this a few times, and so I appreciate the humility there. But you've done some big stuff that I think is going to apply here, and
All right,
you're able to take
Josh,
and reapply and relearn. So
I'll put that check in the mail.
I'm sorry.
The check will be there on Friday. No. I promise. It'll be there by Friday.
That is all honesty. I'll rip the check up. I'll rip the check up because it's true. But one of the questions that came to mind, because if we've been sitting in meetings, you've been sharing some stuff that other people have been highlighting to you in talking about YouTube and Google, and going, these are we've been working on that first largest search engine in the world, Google, for a long time, have seen massive success in getting into the top 100 plus in search ranking for topics that matter to our brand. And inside of that, now we're looking at YouTube and seeing a lot of potential, partly because of passion, and we just love video.
We like
stuff.
to be on video, Josh. We like to hang out, live stream, chat with our friends, have them come in, let them come and join us on the. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and so there's those nuances. But what are some of the differences you're seeing when you're talking about Google versus the way that you're trying to have to adjust and kind of go into an uncomfortable shift?
And I kind of want to I'm going to answer a question here real quick, because Alberto wanted to know, what do you use to share with all the platforms? Alberto, we use Restream and eCam Live. So Restream is a tool that allows me to go to multiple platforms at one time. And then the software that I'm using to do this live stream today is eCam Live, and it's insanely powerful. I was hoping to have my pages set up before today's live stream. I didn't get that to happen because, when you're running a couple of companies and you're starting a new one and you got a lot of moving parts, some things kind of fall through the cracks. So by tomorrow, hopefully we will have our links page set up, linking out to all of these tools that we use, all of the social profiles of where you can find me, where you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Obviously, you're here on YouTube if you're watching that. And as well, my companies. So Divi Space is it's a WordPress product company for the Divi theme. And AspenGroveStudios.com is a WordPress development company. We create products around WooCommerce and e-commerce specifically, and plugins and themes for WordPress. So, and I'll be covering all those topics. So we'll be going live to the appropriate places depending on the topics that we're covering and stuff. And we may go to as many as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platforms at once. So we're ready to get this thing rocking. So Josh, let's get this thing started, man.
Tell us what differences you're hearing about from other experts, things that you're learning about nuances. So not the things that you're doing that are the same, maybe that
Right.
you apply,
Yeah.
but what are the differences
Okay.
that you're seeing in YouTube?
I think the number one difference right off the bat, and Diana Gladney helped me to understand this. On the Google side of things, when you're, they said they have the phrase content is king, and content is king, and it's on multiple different levels. There's several layers to the content is king, and one of them is the amount of content that you produce, how fast you put it out, and that's a difference on the Google and the YouTube side. And I'm going to leave a caveat in here because I do believe that this could change as your channel grows, okay? But starting a new YouTube channel, what I've learned and understand, because we're starting, the Let's Get Live Corporation is also starting a new YouTube channel. And there's 5 partners there, and several of them have, 10,000 subscribers on their personal YouTube channel. So they've got nice audiences already on their personal. And I'm ready, on the Google side. Josh knows because he's our chief marketing officer and he runs our blog content and stuff. And it's the more we can put out, the better it is. Google loves it. It's not about, spacing content apart and making sure that you have some breathing room between. If you can just pump out the content on the Google side, it's going to be a lot better for you. Well, I'm finding out that YouTube is very different, especially with a new channel, because what happens is Diana says that you have to have some space to breathe. The content has to have some space to breathe. So what will happen is we'll post this video, for example, and if we followed it up with another video immediately, which we're going to do tomorrow on our live stream at 10 a.m. Maybe I need to rethink the schedule, but she says that the content on YouTube needs to breathe because you'll detract away from your content that you've produced. So this video today might get affected by the content that we produce tomorrow, instead of allowing it to breathe, letting the audience take in the content and kind of go. So that's one difference that I'm seeing. Now I think that as the YouTube channel grows and you blow it out of the water, and I'm talking like 100,000 subscribers or more, maybe that changes. Maybe it does turn to, as you've got an audience developed and as much content as you can put out, you should put out, because me as a consumer, YouTube is my entertainment. It's what I use for business. It's what I use to learn. It's also what I use for entertainment. So the channels that I subscribe to, I just will binge watch those videos if I'm into that. But their audience is established and mine isn't. So I don't want to throw everything in the kitchen sink. I want them to kind of digest. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, some of the nuances too that I've seen inside of that kind of follow the same thing is from a blog content or a written content perspective. There's a lot of power to evergreen content that you keep kind of updating marginal and incremental stages. And if something new comes out, you might add a paragraph, you might tweak a few sentences here and there and keep the date fresh over and over again. With video content, that is a lot more difficult to pull off, especially on YouTube, because you can't make changes to the live videos.
Right.
So I think that's a big difference about why the breathing room is important, because when you're publishing or posting stuff up, you want it to be the best that it could be.
Absolutely.
I think there's also another nuance that might be interesting to talk about and think on, is the difference between the live stream content versus the produced content.
Yeah, I absolutely.
And some of what you're planning. Yeah. So what are you learning and thinking on that?
On the live stream versus the pre-produced content. Okay, here's what I've learned. So, and I've seen other content creators who live stream do this, and in talking with people who have experience and who have large YouTube audiences. Oops, I just knocked my mic out. I'm from South Louisiana,
wasn't
and
too loud.
we talk with our hands, so I move a lot, and I may this microphone may feel like it's possessed and has a mind of its own, but that's really just because my hands are moving as I talk and stuff. So what are some of the differences? So one thing that I've learned with live stream content, I spoke with Adam Preisler, and I want to give Adam a shout out, a thank you for taking the time to just visit with me and answer some questions. Adam has, a couple of 100,000 subscribers, so he's a very experienced, awesome
beast.
YouTuber in the WordPress space. He tells me that live streams after 6 months, YouTube's algorithms are set to not really promote that content as much anymore. So when you put pre-recorded up, and as a pre-recorded piece of content gains traction, YouTube is going to continue to promote that, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas live streams, you're going to, after about 6 months, YouTube's going to think that the content was a live stream, and it might not really be applicable as it was 6 months ago because it was a live stream. So
right.
Most people aren't doing like walkthrough tutorial live streams, I guess, which we may want to think about how we handle that. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do live stream tutorials, because what I've also learned, the differences, one thing that you can do is I've seen some content creators taking their live streams immediately after they post them. They have the live stream, they take it down, they chop it up, they take off the front countdown timer, they add their end screens, it's almost like a pre-produced video, and they use it as a pre-recorded and then re-upload it to YouTube. So I think you can go live doing tutorial-based type kind of content and then re-upload that as a pre-recorded and get evergreen content. It has to do with evergreen content. So
that's it. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, this is my Sammy special question.
Uh-oh.
And the reason why I call it my Sammy special is because in your interview, the dude nailed it with some real zingers for you. Okay. And he's so thoughtful, thought through it. So this is my Sammy special, okay? Right. And it's the one that I think exposes a dark underbelly to the world of SEO, talking about Vanity Metrics.
Right.
And we've chatted about this a little bit, where you either go pay for subscribers or whatever. But I thought the thing that was interesting about the conversation when you brought up Vanity Metrics the other day, you said not only is it not helpful, it can be harmful when you're paying for subscribers. So I'd like to know why having a big following that's not actually a real following, but a bunch of bots maybe, or whatever that you paid for to come in, can be harmful to your content. And on YouTube, why are those Vanity Metrics
and I think
problem?
I think first thing is, some people may not know what the term Vanity Metrics is or means. So I want to define that. So Vanity Metrics, what we mean by that is your subscriber account. I've got 10 million subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm, look at me, and you seem, people may tend to get a sense of, you should have a sense of pride always in everything that you do, but it's almost like a false pride. It's almost like, hey, come check out my, when you haven't actually built something properly and stuff. So, one thing that I have learned, and I'm streaming to my personal Facebook page, and I'm glad you asked this question, because I'm really speaking to a lot of them in this answer as well. I love you. I love all of you. I love all of you that I know on social media. I love all of the people that I come across online. And as much as I would love to say, hey, hit that subscribe button, I really don't want you to subscribe unless you're going to watch my YouTube channel, because it's going to hurt me in the long run. And that's what Josh is alluding to, because the other day we were having a conversation, and, I was just sharing with him. I was like, vanity metrics they're useless. They're really terrible for you, especially on the YouTube side, because their algorithms aren't triggered by, yes, a subscriber count is a part of their algorithm, but more importantly, what's more important is watch time. You've got so many subscribers. Right. How many people are actually spending your subscribers? How many of them are actually watching your content? So if I've got 10,000 friends that come and subscribe to my YouTube channel and only 3 or 4 of them are watching my content, YouTube's going to think it's not valuable, good content, because I've got all of these subscribers and nobody's watching. So it's actually hurting me more than it's helping me. So if you're watching this,
right,
and you like the content that I'm producing, subscribe and come watch. But if you're watching this because you're a friend of mine and you want to support me, but you don't plan on watching any content beyond this, don't hit the subscribe button. I don't care about the 10,000 subscribers. We'll get to whatever we need to get to, or whatever we're supposed to get to, whatever that number is. I'm more interested in, producing content and having people that it's valuable to. So, Vanity Metrics, boo. If you're buying and paying for YouTube subscribers and stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube's algorithms know it. They're smart enough to know the content you're producing, the people that you have as subscribers watching, it's not happening. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. I was on it definitely does, because I was on a live stream a while back that I was super stoked to get on to 1 million subscribers. We went live. Not one comment came in, not one engagement until days and days later. And I'm thinking, man, this is like the epitome
crickets.
Of that. And it's so deceptive to the, it's like, I'm all of I get on your channel.
Right? Exactly. That's what it is.
I get on your channel. And even at this growth stage, we're hitting that 200-300 mark, pushing forward and seeing growth day consistently. But I love being on your channel because we'll get done and have had 100 comments in an hour period of time, and I'll be on one with 1 million and there's nothing. So I agree with you 100%. It's kind of a staggering thing to think about that, and it's easy to get discouraged when you're running up the slow, steady consistency pace of doing it.
I think most people,
I don't know if you want to add to that, but
I think most people, they get caught up in, how many followers they have on Instagram, how many page likes they have on Facebook, how many subscribers they have on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, that stuff is very important, but quality is way better than quantity. And, I'm going to be real here. I'm going to keep it real. Okay. Title of this thing is taking everything I learned in dominating Google and bringing it to YouTube. Josh mentioned a couple of things, and I'm going to toot my own horn here. I have dominated Google. I've got 2 very high-ranking e-commerce websites, and we generate a lot of revenue in those companies because of our content that we put out, okay? And I've met so many YouTubers and people with lots of subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram, and I can tell you, they're not really generating the money that they really want to generate. And I want to tell them this is part of the reason. You're more worried about and focused in on this dang number that's down here at the bottom than you are about that 1 or 2 people that are actually watching your live stream or digesting your content and improving and helping them. If you do that, you're going to smash it on the YouTube. I have no doubt in my mind, I don't have my new YouTube banner yet, but my new YouTube, I've got the tag and slogan and stuff that's going to go in there. The channel, the Digital Buddha channel, is going to be WordPress and e-commerce simplified. And I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to succeed online, sell your products, your services, whatever that may be. You're going to learn it right here on this channel. And I know it already, what I've learned from my mentors, my peers. I already know this channel is going to blow up. It's going to be very successful because I'm going to put out some really good content that's going to help you. And I'm not going to be focused on the 199 subscribers down there, although I know that subscriber count's going to go way north once they start digesting this content and they start using some of the things that I mentioned. You know, it's going to be really good. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, Josh.
That's
getting off my
really
pulpit.
Good.
I'm getting down off the pulpit. Hold on.
No, that was great. That was great that you said that. I got to get me one of those buttons for meetings. Yeah. One of the things that I was going to say is that you're hitting the nail on the head. And I think these are some of the tricks. We're kind of moving into the tricks now,
right? That
you're going to expose.
Right.
And so what are some of the tricks? Even if they're the same, they're different. What are some tricks people can use? And I'll pair this question to it. Do you think there are shortcuts to gaining traffic or success, or is it all luck, consistency, and relationships?
Ooh, man, that's I feel like there's 100 questions in one question, Josh, because my brain just went, you know, because I'm so new.
Pull it back.
I'm so new to all of the YouTube stuff, and I've just been like a sponge. I've been like just digesting, talking, asking questions, figuring things out with the knowledge that I have, you know, and knowing how search engine algorithms work, what triggers them, you know, taking that information, applying it over here on YouTube, trying to figure some stuff out. So I feel like there was so much in what you asked that I could deep dive into. And I honestly don't feel like I'm qualified enough yet on the YouTube side to speak authoritatively to that. However, I will share some of the things that I learned so far. And that little Sammy Superstar guy that you mentioned in the comments actually taught me a massive lesson. I've been doing business online in e-commerce, having a huge email list that does really well. And Sammy did something on Sunday night that just blew me away and really kind of opened my mind into the potential of YouTube, you know. And I don't see this in YouTube. I see, and I don't see it in online marketing a lot, period. You know, and the movie industry does this really, really, really well. I mean, they get us sucked in. They want us in the theaters. They want us watching this new movie that's coming out. And, you know, it's kind of the same concept of that. So I was on Sammy's live stream Sunday night, and he was asking me some questions about WordPress and Divi, and I was answering them. And one of the questions that he asked me is, you know, where should you register your domain? You know, who should you use? And I answered the question. I gave him my answer. Well, Sammy took just that little clip, which was about 30 seconds, and he chopped it up.
The Sammy Special.
The Sammy Special. We're gonna call it the Sammy Special. He chopped it up. He added some music to the background of it. He put an end screen on it, link in the description, check out. And he wanted to drive traffic to the interview that he and I did for his YouTube channel, because he and I are both growing these new YouTube channels. But what he did was so amazing, because it was like a teaser. It was like a trailer, like a movie trailer, you know.
Right.
And I always think about the marketing that you do for new products and services or existing products and services, and they're the promotional type kind of marketing. Hey, we got this coming. Black Friday's coming. Black Friday's coming. Cyber Monday's coming. Here we go. We got this special, that special, this special. And what he showed me on Sunday night, quickly after the stream was over, he cut up that piece. He shared it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the socials, and the engagement from it was just like, wow, because he took a piece and he got people's palate wet. He teased them to where they wanted to see more of that interview and
Right.
drove traffic over to it. And it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
this is huge. This is genius. Everybody should be doing this with YouTube. They should be producing their content, taking the juiciest piece, just a snippet, just like the movie theaters do with the trailers. You ever feel like you go into the movie, you've watched this amazing trailer, and then you
Yeah.
watch the movie,
Yeah.
and everything that was in the trailer was that was all the movie was, and you're like, dang it. But guess what? Hey, they still got my money, and I still went over there, right? Well, if you can find that piece of, content, yeah, we'll drop the link to the channel. Absolutely. Yeah, Code Rocket. I'm going to drop a link to Sammy's channel. Thank you for asking that. So, but they still got the money.
Yeah.
I think the power, I think I've been missing out on something, and I just learned it from Sammy Superstar on Sunday night, the power of post-promotion.
Yeah.
I think that it could be bigger than pre-promotion, especially for a platform like YouTube, because it is video-based and it is stuff. So, yeah, you're welcome, Code Rocket. I'm going to grab Sammy's YouTube channel. I'm also going to drop my YouTube channel in here as well. If you're on Facebook and you're watching, I probably should be more prepared for this, but I'm not. I'm doing it live, so we're figuring it out as we go. I am going.
Yeah.
Josh, you can talk. I'm going to do a couple of things here real quick.
I do.
Answer the stuff on the audience.
Sounds good. I have a couple of thoughts that along this journey, I've been a part of it because we talk quite often. And so though I'm a guest on this channel, we're working through this stuff together. There's a lot of things that I've been learning as well. One trick that I know applies to both because we've seen it happen in real time, but also I have some family who's working on this. My brother's been starting a YouTube channel, and key phrase research towards your targeted audience still applies on YouTube and is a big deal. And a lot of people go, well, how do I do good keyword research? There are tools for it. There are great tools. And obviously the better metrics you can get, the better it is, but they're expensive. The best way to do keyword research, if you're just starting out and you're trying to make this happen and trying to figure out how can I do this for free, get on Google Keyword Planner, create an account, and you can YouTube this trick if you want to, but create your account and you can do all the keyword research for free. So create your account, type in the words, you're going to see this phrase gets 10,000 searches. This phrase only getting 100 searches, and just flipping a few words around can matter. And this happened with my brother. Their channels, Micah and Janie, and they're doing furniture flipping. So it's not even on the topic of tech, but it's a niche thing.
Right.
And I've sat there going like, if a business owner is watching this and they do a furniture shop, or if they are a car wash or a dog groomer or anything, any service-based thing, you could create a YouTube channel like this and you could target this and you could get that thing blown up because people love watching. He was telling me that some folks are just watching landscapers do landscaping. It's super relaxing to them. They'll sit there and watch an hour of the start to finish process, And so they started doing this. He had his title in YouTube when they first launched, flipped it a second time because it wasn't getting traffic. And then he just recently flipped it again, and it went from a couple hundred views to over 3,000 views, literally within a couple days time frame. And now they're getting all this kind of traffic. And that was because of key phrase research and thinking through the audience. But he did want me to mention, if I brought the story up, he said quality, which David already talked about, is a massive deal. He saw the niche in that space. He was really interested in it. It's a hobby to him. He enjoys it, but he saw a lack of quality from other participants in that space. And so he really upped that game, and now it's paying off big time for him. And
Well,
so I
here
think key phrase research is
here's what I
important.
want to
Go ahead.
say. I want to add this in there because I'm typing, trying to. Here's the downfall of streaming to multiple platforms, and Ecamm, Ken and Glenn is this this platform is amazing. But if I could comment in Ecamm Live and
One
it would
spot.
go to all of the channels that I'm streaming to, instead of having to go to each individual Facebook page and YouTube and everything, it would be massively huge. It would be a game changer for Ecamm Live for future. I'm telling you, this will be huge. Nobody will want to use any other platform. So I'm going to shout out Micah Daly here for a little bit because this dude he's Josh's brother, and they're both creative as all get out. And if you hadn't listened to the Hello WP podcast, go listen to it. Just from a production standpoint, you're going to understand why Micah's killing it. And when he talks about quality, the quality of his podcast is insane. It's really, really good. It's one of the things that attracted me to Josh and Micah and wanting to bring them on board at Divi Space and Aspen Grove Studios to work with us because they're genius creators and they have that thing that they know how to connect with people and stuff. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's doing really good in that space and that he's killing it because of the quality and stuff, because the quality of everything that Josh and Micah put out is second to none. I mean, it's really the highest and best quality out there. So, there you go, Josh.
Well, I'm gonna throw that pat on the back at you because my next point was relationships are everything in building quality content. And this again applies back to Google and it applies back to YouTube. Both places this is important. And you go, I don't know anybody. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, David's got a lot of relationships, but he gained a whole different group of relationships when he started into the Ecamm community because he joined the groups, he engaged the content. He didn't come in like a know-it-all. He came in to learn. He came in to experience, spent his time 6 months, a year building those relationships and developing that stuff. And there's nothing like walking into a room and going, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Everybody goes, that guy is a joke. Hey, all he does is share himself, his own stuff, and is always pointing at himself. A much more powerful metric of engagement is when other people walk in the room and they go, do you see that guy over there? You see that person sitting at the other end of the room? That dude's killing it with this stuff. And David, you do that masterfully towards other people, but it also shows in how quickly you're spinning up your own channel and stuff like that, because there's a lot of channels sitting there with 20, 30 followers that will never grow past that because they don't spend time engaging in the communities that are related to the topics. And so I would tell you right now, get out there, work hard, spend in building real, authentic relationships. That's something you cannot shortcut. You can't shortcut that. Is try, and it's those 200,000 guys, the 300,000 followers, when they share your stuff, that's going to make it explode. And it takes relationships to get those guys to share because they're there for a reason, and quality. So all of these things kind of tying together is really important, whether you're working in Google, whether you're working in YouTube. I don't know, David, do you have some thoughts? I don't know how long you're wanting to roll, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for us here.
The check will be there by Friday at 1 o'clock, I think.
Stop.
I'm just joking, Josh. I'm just joking.
No
I will speak to that because, quality does matter. Your content does matter. It's the most important thing, but outside of that, I think just being a good person, and, recognizing and valuing other people around you is very, very important and stuff. So I don't know. That's just how my DNA is wired. I always want to, That one of my favorite sayings is a rising tide raises all ships. So, if we go together, let's go. Let's do this thing together. This isn't about me becoming big, boom, boom. I'm a sharer. So I'm going to share all of my knowledge, everything that I learn. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you what to do and stuff and how I did it and what I did. Here's the one thing, sadly, that I do know, Josh, is that you can give everything to people away, and the majority of them aren't going to do it. They're just not. That's kind of my
Right.
one biggest thing with entrepreneurs that I've noticed over the years, because I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I've been self-employed. I've started companies. I've done my own thing. That's just who I am. It's in my DNA. And I've always been a sharer of, oh, you could do this, you could do that, go do this. Man, you could kill it doing what you love. Here's how, And most people, they can't go from here to here for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's because that's how they're hardwired. I just know that I've always been hardwired a little bit different than an average bear. And
Yeah. Do you mind if I interject something on that real quick?
Sure, absolutely.
Because I think there is a break point that it takes something special in you to go, this is going to be a temporary, like, quick fix gain, which I think we end up focusing on a lot, especially when we're starting out, finances are short, and we just focus on these little wins, as opposed to going, what's the trajectory of where we're headed, and what's the biggest play that I can make that's going to be over consistent time frames, and working this stuff and really tilling it, so that when the harvest does come in, it's going to be a bigger harvest, and one that's sustainable and lasting. And so I get the tension of that as somebody who's been in the startup space and is in it currently, but also working around in a lot of spaces.
Right.
But I do feel like there's a point to that where you have to go, is this for the quick win, where I'm going to throw a quick sale up to boost my numbers for this month? Or is this for the long play, where I'm going to build a consistent group of people to work with me? My camera just cut, didn't it? But
it did.
Let me get
I
me
got
back.
you. I got you covered.
You go to yourself.
So, go to myself. Thank you, Josh. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm with myself. So, and I probably should have been more prepared, but next week. I do want to say this, because I do think that people focus on the quick. They're so focused on the payoff, the immediate payoff, that they're missing the whole point of why you're building something overall. And for me, as an entrepreneur, and having started several businesses and stuff, I've been really, really good at not getting sidetracked and detracted by, I better do this over here real quick, because I need to get over here and do this so I can make this quick little whatever. And if you can stay focused on the bigger picture, and I have always been able to stay focused on the big picture and not worry about the immediate quick little things that can sidetrack and derail you very early, big time. So I'm glad that you brought that up and stuff. This has been a great stream. We're coming up on right at an hour, which is what I wanted to do anyways. And I promise you, going forward on this channel, if you follow this channel, you're going to see it evolve, and hopefully it will get better and better and better. Not only the production value, but the everything that it takes to going in and launching a new YouTube channel, which is a lot of the stuff I'm not doing right now is optimizing videos. I mean, I set a title, but I don't have the descriptions set. I don't have the tags set in there. I'm not looking at the analytics yet like I should be. We're going to come back, do another video on that, because Josh really wanted to dive into that today, and we're just not prepared for that. At least I'm not. Maybe next time he can. So
Yeah.
hopefully next week I'll have at least descriptions, and links to everything out, that needs to go out properly and stuff, and we'll link it out and stuff. But I promise you, there will be improvement every single week on this channel. And one thing that I will say, you asked me a question, and it goes back to, what are some of the things, that are important and stuff that you've learned that you're doing. The one thing that is synonymous across Google or YouTube is just hit publish. Just hit upload, go live, or publish wherever you're producing your content. The most important thing, and this channel is a perfect example, isn't about, I can't go live yet because I don't have my description set. I don't have my tags set. I can't produce content yet. Look,
Yeah.
I'm producing content. I'm going to fix that stuff on the backside, get my process set in place, templatize everything. The good news is that my good friends over at Let's Get Live, Diana, Doc, and everybody, they've already given me the template. I just hadn't had the time to implement it yet. So that's my goal for the next week, is to get that implemented into my process.
Well, and the good news with that is like what I was saying about Micah, is he made 3 changes to his title before it connected. And so you can adjust and fix that stuff, but you can't. But if you got nothing to fix, you're just sitting there waiting with no content and trying to get everything just
That's right.
first.
You're going to get everything perfect. To hell with perfect. Let's go. We're going, we going.
Yeah.
And we will dial it in on the backside. I'm a firm believer in that. So I started doing that unknowingly 6 years ago when I started producing content on Google. And all I did was just write blog posts, things that I was learning in my WordPress business that I thought, if I'm searching for it and I need to know how to do it, maybe it'll be helpful to someone else. And I was just putting it out there, not knowing that I could dial it in, have the meta tags and the titles honed in and all the stuff that goes into a really good SEO'd blog post, for example. I just was producing content. The good news is that Google and YouTube, they're smart enough to know if you got valuable content, even if you don't have all that stuff. So just hit publish, go live, and upload. That's the third one I was going to say, because it might be pre-recorded live or, blog post or something. Sammy Superstar is back, and he says, clap, clap, clap. It must be the sign to end the live stream, Josh. What do you think?
Yeah, he feels us winding down, so I think we're there. I'm good.
I think we're there, too.
Thanks for having me on, David.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, man. And always love to have you because you're very knowledgeable, and you've got a lot of really good, practical, experience that can help people. So you'll be on more in the future and stuff. And who knows, I might even be by myself on my YouTube channel one day. But you know me, I'm an extrovert, and I like to hang with my friends. So who knows? It may be the David and whoever show each week, depending on what the topic is. So I do want to give this shout out. And I'm going to jump to single screen real quick. Tomorrow, we're going to start the series of how to build a website, a WordPress website, a WordPress e-commerce website. As Doc says, English, please. How to build a WordPress e-commerce website with Divi. We're going to start that 10-week journey tomorrow, right here on the Digital Buddha's YouTube channel. Same time, same place, 10 a.m. And I'm going to stream to Facebook as well. But I really would love it if y'all came over here to YouTube. I'm going to stop streaming on Facebook pretty soon. I don't know how long I'm going to do it, but because I'm so new, I feel like it's appropriate to stream to those places. However, I want everybody coming over to YouTube so that I can, build up this YouTube channel and stuff. And guess what? Facebook sucks. I'm sorry, Mark Zuckerberg. I don't think you're ever going to watch my live stream, but your platform is kind of when it comes to getting the word out to all the people and stuff. So I'm going to bring Josh back on here. We're going to say so long, sayonara. We're going to go out with a song, Josh, and let Let me see, which one do I want today? This was the first song. If you watch Doc Rock interview me on this YouTube channel, this is the one that I had coming in. I'm going to use it going out today, and here it is. Josh, thanks for coming on, brother, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, see ya.
And we will see y'all. Yeah, I guess we'll see y'all tomorrow.
That's me. You wear a hat they call dad. Me, I'm the dad in a hat. You just like clubbing and clothes. Me, I like afternoon naps. 3 I be missed for the road. My oldest like counting racks. My middle one, she's in a dirt bike. My youngest is just like a mama.
Peace,
The mama loves
everybody.
me and I love her, so if she wants something to